One of the vegetables in this root vegetable soup is turnips. Now, turnips have a mustard-like, pretty pungent flavor to them. Even though it does mellow out when you cook them, a little bit goes a long way. So here are the turnips that I need for the soup. All you need to do is peel this and then cut them, chop them up for soups. You can even roast them too. They're delicious that way. I'm back in one of my favorite sections of the produce department, the convenience aisle. The next ingredient in this recipe is rutabagas. Now, rutabaga is related to a turnip, but it's milder, a little bit sweeter, more dense than a turnip. I could buy it looking like this, which is a whole rutabaga. It's very waxy on the outside. This absolutely needs to be peeled before you do anything with it, even if you're roasting it or using it in a soup. So instead of doing that, today I'm going to buy them already cut up for me in this convenience package. Truffle oil is one of my favorite things because of its rich, mushroomy, intoxicating aroma and flavor. We're using it today as just a finishing touch on the root vegetable soup. This one is made with extra virgin olive oil and it's infused with black truffles. So I'm starting out by adding a tablespoon of olive oil to my pot, and I'm heating this on medium-low. To that, we're adding some diced pancetta, and we're going to cook that. That's about 4 ounces of diced pancetta. We're going to cook that until it's really very, very crisp, and then we'll remove it from the pot before we move on. This has been browning for a while, and what has happened is it's rendered all its fat. It has a wonderful, nice aroma to it. So there's a little bit of fat in the bottom of the pan that you're going to leave in there, but we want to remove the crispy pancetta, and we're actually going to use that later on as a garnish. But for now, let's just set it aside. And in the pot, we will now add our Mirepoix ingredients, which includes some chopped onion, about 8 ounces of chopped onion, about 4 ounces of sliced celery, real fine, some leeks, just the white part only, again sliced very thinly, tablespoon or so of minced garlic, and a couple bay leaves for flavor. And at this point, I'm going to give this a little bit of seasoning with some salt and pepper. And let that cook about 10 minutes on medium until the vegetables are tender but not brown. The mirepoix is nice and tender now, so it's time to add the vegetables. We have several of them in this soup. So we're starting out with a rutabaga. And we have some turnips. And some parsnips. And finally some carrots. And you'll notice that they're all cut in approximately the same size pieces so that they cook evenly in about the same amount of time. And to that, we're adding 2 containers of chicken culinary stock. And once I get all of that in, then I'm going to bring this to a simmer on high, reduce the temperature to low, partially cover it, and then let that simmer until the vegetables are all tender, about 45 minutes. Okay, this has been simmering about 45 minutes and the vegetables are all nice and soft. So at this point, what I want to do is remove the bay leaves, turn off the heat. We'll get rid of the bay leaves here. You don't want to blend those up. They won't blend up, in fact. And now we want to blend the soup into a puree. So you can do this in batches by adding the soup to a blender, or you can use a stick immersion blender like this one, and then just blend that up until it's nice and creamy and smooth. Okay, that's blended just the way I like it. If you like it a little bit chunkier, you can even leave it that way if you want. You want to see a little bit of veggie in there instead of completely pureed. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's time to serve it. So you can ladle that right into your bowl, your individual bowls like this. And what a great aroma that has. And finally, I'm going to finish this off with a little garnish. Remember, we took the pancetta out before. Now we're going to sprinkle a little bit of that on top. And to that, my favorite condiment is truffle oil. So a little drop of truffle oil on top of that. We'll finish it off just the way I certainly like it. I hope you do too. Another great way to use your root vegetables.